Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Mr. Balker here. We're doing ELA again, and I wanted to show you the next thing that we're going to work on, which is grammar. Grammar is important because grammar gives you the ability to communicate without making crazy mistakes. I've done this for a little while now. Last year it was fantastically helpful. You don't want to send emails out or write text messages that have crazy improper usage of verbs and nouns and not have the right spelling and not know where a comma goes. So, do grammar. Here's how you get to the grammar. You go to all units, scroll to the very bottom, click grammar button. It now opens your list of subunits. We're going to have these every single Wednesday. They take about 15 or 20 minutes, and then you'll be done with it. So you're going to have a total of about 25 of these lessons over the course of the year. But every Wednesday I'm going to make a video to walk you through it, give you some guidance, and you can do the rest. Today we're doing lesson 1, defining a complete sentence. What is a complete sentence? A complete sentence needs two things: a subject and an action. That's it. He walks. What's the subject? He. What is he doing? Walking. That's it. It's honestly that simple. He walks is a complete sentence. So let's go ahead and go through what they want you to do. Sometimes, and it's very rare, but sometimes you can get away with a single word as a sentence, and I'm going to show you how those work, but not yet. So first of all, here's the way the grammar lesson is structured. Items 2, 3, 4, and 5, those slides, that's stuff that I want you to get done. That's what I'm going to grade. Number 1 is going to be the directions for how it works. We're going to show you how it works. And number 6 is they want you to go in and revise previous writing that you've done. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm just going to kind of have you do the lesson as it comes along. So here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the second slide, and I'm going to show you how to do the first one. Click on number 2, and it's going to define the simple subject and the predicate. What is a simple subject? It is the thing or person that is performing the action. Rain falls. What's the object? Rain. What is rain doing? Falling. That's it. He smells. What's the subject? He. What is he doing? Being smelly. Smells. That's it. It's honestly that simple. So, in this very first one here, we have 3 options. They're asking you to pick which one is a complete sentence. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the first one. The first one has 3 options. All we have to do is, according to the directions here, choose which one of these things is a complete sentence. Only girls. Only girls what? We don't know, right? There's no action. There's no verb. Justin sings. What's our subject? Justin. What does Justin do? Justin sings. We select that. We go to the third one. Not him. What about him? Not him what? Okay? There's no action there. So we don't have to select that one. When you're finished, hit save and continue. Go to the next one. Next one is fish smell. What is the subject? Fish. What are the fish doing? Smelling. Smelly fish. What about them? Smelly fish what? Smelly fish are delicious? We don't know. Smells nasty. What smells nasty? We don't have a subject. So again, our correct answer is A. Fish smell, selected, hit save and continue. This is a bigger one. This is important for 2 reasons, so stay with me on this one. The first option, the team celebrated. What is the subject? The team. What is the team doing? Celebrating. Terrific. Second option, the winning team celebrated victory. What's the subject? The winning team. Good. And what did the winning team do? They celebrated victory. They celebrated. Again, same thing. I want you to notice that both of these are fine. That is the second point I wanted to make about this, is that you may have more than one right answer. Don't just get the first one and think you're clean sailing and don't get the rest of them. Third one, all the players on the winning team celebrated their big victory. What's our subject? It's still one word, right? In this one, players. All the players on the winning team. Still players. Players is our subject. What are those players doing? Celebrating. All the other stuff provides contextual data, additional information, but we don't have to have it. I will say that it makes it a better sentence, but you don't have to have it. The last one. After the game, all the players and the winning team celebrated their big victory over the rivals. Okay, what's a simple subject? Players. What do those players do? Celebrated. That's it. Your correct answer on this one is yes, this is also a complete sentence. Now that brings me to the main point about this one and why I like this one. As you guys have already learned, I expect you to write lots and lots and lots of words. What is the easiest way to write lots and lots and lots of words? Make it look like that one, not like that one. If I'm expecting you to write 200 words later in the year, and you make your sentences 3 words long, how many sentences do you have to write? You math wizards out there, about 70. But if instead we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 words in a sentence, well, how many 17-word sentences is it going to take to get to 200 words? Yeah, about 11 or 12. That's a lot easier, right? It will make your writing easier when you use lots of descriptive language. Now, make no mistake, it's not my first day. I'm going to notice if all you do is have a ridiculous run-on sentence. I'm going to catch it. But using more words and being descriptive, let's be honest, that is a lot better sentence than that. This tells us why they were celebrating. It was their rivals. That's a big game, man. We're like pumped up. So, right that way. Anyway, moving on. Hit save and continue. It's going to bring you to number 4 and number 5. I'm not going to give you the answers there. That's on you. When you're finished, hit hand in at the end and go to number 3. Number 3 goes over the same idea again. Choose the complete sentence. Now, they're going to try to trick you here a little bit because they've got verbs and nouns, and you can easily think that it's a complete sentence. So let's think about it. It matters. What is the subject? It. What is it doing? It's mattering. Correct. Jumping frogs. What is the subject? Frogs. What are the frogs doing? One could believe the frogs are jumping, but that's not what it says. Jumping here is not being used as an action. It's being used as a description. For example, jumping frogs get run over by cars. I guess they could, right? If they jumped into the road, they get hit by a car. There's no action for these frogs. You're simply describing which frogs, the ones that are jumping. What about them? Then what are they doing? Not correct. Going home. Going is a verb. Going implies action. Home is a place. Home is a noun. So is that a complete sentence? No. Because again, who's going home? Bill is going home. We are going home. This is just telling us a destination. This is not a complete sentence. And sometimes this will just come naturally. You'll just hear it and be like, I don't know, what do you mean? You say, I'm going home. Okay, cool. But that's not a complete sentence. It matters is the only one. Select A, hit save and continue. Next one. We tried. We, that's the subject. Tried. What did we do? Tried. That's the action. Good, we're good. Need more. Need more what? Who needs more? It doesn't make sense, right? We have to think this through. I need more money. Now we have a complete sentence. You could even just say, I need more. More could be the reference object, and need could be the verb, but we don't have a subject. He needs more. We need more. Those would both be okay. Loving this. Loving this. Who's loving this? We don't have a subject. Okay? We have something referenced. We have a direct object, but we don't have a subject that's doing the loving. Who is loving this? I'm loving this. Well, good for you. I'm glad you're loving this. Okay, let's say continue. Number 3. Everyone refused. What's our subject? Everyone. What did everyone do? Everyone refused. Love stinks. What is our subject? Love. What is love doing? It's stinking. Great. Working hard. Who's working hard? I don't know. I'm working hard. Bill is working hard. I don't know. Working hard is not correct. Don't select it. 4 and 5 are on your own. Hit hand in. Go to number 4. Now, this is a fun one here, the implied subject. You don't see it till the third card here, but what an implied subject is an implied subject isn't really right there in front of you. They're kind of referenced vaguely saying, oh, this thing over here is the subject, but we're not really talking about it. Usually, we're talking to it. That's how it's implied. So I want you to observe the differences here. Horses gallop. What's our subject? Horses. What are the horses doing? They gallop. Who knows? What's our subject? Who? What's our direct object? Or sorry, what is our action? Knows. Who knows? Now this is a question. So who knows? We're hoping that they're going to give us an answer. That is a complete sentence. Sleeping dogs. What about them? Sleeping dogs what? Sleeping dogs lie. Sleeping dogs get run over by the truck as well because they should have moved. Yeah, perhaps. Sleeping dogs is not a complete sentence. Next one. What works? That is a complete sentence. What works? The what is the subject, and the works is the thing that's supposed to be doing. This works. Okay? What is the subject? This. And what is this doing? It works. Great. It needs work. What's our subject? It. And what is it doing? It's needing work. Correct. Here's the ones that are fantastic examples of, they'll still work. Here is one that is a good example of an implied subject, okay? Scram. Scram is one word. How can scram be a complete sentence? Why? Well, because it's a directive. It's telling you, scram. I could be pointing at a cat saying, scram. What's the implied subject? The cat, or the you, whatever. Put down your pencils. What is the subject in there? It is the person being addressed told to put down their pencils. They are implicit. They are implied. They are outside of the sentence, but they're the ones to whom the directive is given. Put down your pencils. That is a complete sentence. Don't be so worried. Who don't be so worried? You, the person who is worried. Don't be so worried. Does that make sense, guys? It is an implied subject, but when you have a directive, which all of these are, very oftentimes, it's going to have an implicit subject, okay? 4 and 5, do it on your own again. Number 5. Number 5 is a piece of cake. All they've done here is they have a sentence, and they've broken it down into 3 parts, and they're asking you, which of these 3 parts can be a sentence on its own? Okay? Before performing. What's our subject? Before performing, I guess, is our subject. So what's our action? So the whole sentence is before forming, she feels increasingly nervous. That makes sense. She feels. What's our subject? She. Is she doing anything? Yeah. She's feeling. Let's do that. Okay, so these ones are pretty easy. Before performing, she feels increasingly nervous. Now what they've done is they've broken it down into 3 parts. And all we have to do is figure out which of these 3 parts can stand completely on its own as a sentence. Before performing. Not a complete sentence, right? Before performing what? She feels. She feels. She is doing something, right? She's feeling. No, that's a complete sentence. Increasingly nervous. Increasingly nervous is a description, but we don't have a subject, and we sure don't have a predicate. So it's not increasingly nervous. Hit save and continue. Gemma naps only occasionally during work. Okay. Gemma naps. Is there a subject? Yes. Gemma. And what is Gemma doing? Gemma's napping. Great. Only occasionally. Only occasionally what? During work. During work what? During work Gemma naps. Great, now you gotta think. During work does not work. The only option is A. She hates to see people littering. So do I. They've broken it down into 3 bits. She hates to see people littering. Okay, this one is a bit more tricky. She hates. Is that a complete sentence? Well, she is doing something, and that something is hating. Okay. To see. To see is just a verb, right? It is an infinitive, but it is a verb, see. People littering. Now that's the tricky one. People littering. The only reason people littering isn't a complete sentence is because it's conjugated wrong. If it said people littered, past tense, cool. If it said people litter, present tense, good. People littering is conjugated wrong because the subject is outside the sentence. So they're trying to trick you with this one. It's not people littering, it is only she hates. Okay, do 4, do 5. And then when you're finished, hit hand in, and you're done. I don't know how long the video's taken. I'm going to guess 8 to 10 minutes. That's it. That's all you have to do. There's going to be one of these every Wednesday. Do them, get the right answers. It's for a grade. Everything's for a grade. And I will make sure that it gets updated. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. I hope you're doing this on a Wednesday or whenever you are doing it. But thank you so much for tuning in yet again. And I will see you guys again on the next Zoom call and the next videos.